has just awarded Fox Varian $2 million. She was 16 years old, double mastectomy. She's 22 years old. She was a detransitioner. The jury heard it, and the thing that really killed the case for the defense was when they asked for best practices. They had no best practices. They had nothing. We talked about the Dutch protocol, and there was silence in the courtroom when they tried to come up with what best practices were for a 16-year-old girl, and she won. And there are 28 other cases that are now pending, and now the dam has broken. Because at this point, once the money starts flowing, you're going to see people run from this. So that's the best news. That happened just about 2 days ago. On Friday it happened. So that's great news. As far as, the fact that we have a Supreme Court justice that's not a biologist, but still can't define what a woman is. I mean, the problem with that question is it became, thanks to Matt Walsh, it became a landmine question. You simply threw it out there. It's like, have you stopped beating your wife lately? Now, how do you answer that, right? And there's the question. So there it is. And if you answer it, you step on it, your career is over, you get whatever is going to happen to you. Or if you answer it correctly, truthfully, well then, are you free? No, now you have enslaved yourself by the people that are out there to determine what they believe reality is. It always, I swear to God, I hope that George Orwell is getting royalties, because, I mean, if you read that book again, when they kept saying to Winston, 2 + 2 is what? 4. 2 + 2 is what? It's 4. No, it's 5. It's 4. No, it's 5. And when he finally said 5, it said, no, 5. And he kept repeating the number over because they wanted him not to say it because they wanted him to say it. They wanted him to believe it. And then once he believed it, then there was no reality at all, right? You have to break that down. And that's the world we live in. It's so weird. My producer, Joe Wallace, I love him, but every time I would say, we should talk about this or that, he's always like, it's a really touchy subject. And then we had you on, and you should see the number of people, because it's an 80-20 one, right? Mm-hmm. We all know that. Yeah. Ari will say that. This is 80-20. The political rule is 80% of the people agree. I think it's like 90-10, or even better than that. But I don't think the 10% have the courage to go, I don't want to offend anybody. I don't want to offend anybody either. Renee Richards, 1975, she has a sex change operation. It's the first one. And I remember as a kid, there was the joke going around, why can't she play tennis? You can fill in the rest. She sued and wanted to play as Renee Richards, a female. Well, they wouldn't let her. But I don't have a problem with an adult that wants to do whatever they want to do with their bodies. But as a child, we can't start to tell a child that 2 + 2 is 5, because then everything breaks apart. So it is hard, but boy, we get you guys, when you talk about stuff that way, I don't just say it. I can say, here's Ari. Just hit the button and let Ari say it. Or Joe, right? Any one of them, right? Or Brandy. Because here's the thing we've done. For the longest time, we were always sort of separate. There's Cairo and there's KVI, and there's Ari and then John. But I said the other day, we were Roanoke. So guys, we're in this together, because there is no other voice. And the fact that you're not allowed in Olympia, it just goes to show you how terrified they are of the 55,000. Or the 300,000, or the 250,000, or the fact that these people got invited to the White House. They don't want you there. Yeah. They can't have you there asking a question where you get the governor saying to you, well, I'm obsessed with trans stuff. I mean, that's the governor of the state of Washington using those words to describe this journalist. So they can't have you. I think it's a great win that they won't let you there. So take it that way.
So I think the original question was, how do you get the word out more? How do you, what gives you hope? How do you give more people hope? And to echo what Brandy said, it's this table right over here. Yeah. And girls, we've been doing these events together for a little while now. It's been a few months where me and Brandy have shown up at these events. This story has kind of morphed over time. And I'll tell you about my daughter. My daughter is not the most athletic person. I know, shock. Us Jews are not athletic. And, okay, I take it back. You're right, there's one. Would you like this leaflet on Stewart? Yeah, okay. One. So, My daughter, actually this year, I got voluntold that I was running the broadcast club for her school because my daughter wanted to announce the basketball games. And yeah, so now I'm on the AV club, and I was cool in high school. And yeah, that's for me making fun of those kids for years. And my daughter said to me just recently, she said, I don't want to just do this anymore, I want to play. And I want to play volleyball. And the story I usually tell at these events is about the girl who was playing volleyball against a boy who claimed he was a girl who was playing volleyball, and he spiked the ball so hard, hit her in the head, knocked her out, and she still got brain damage from that. I'm petrified. I'm terrified. And she said to me, Dad, if there's anything like that, I'm just not going to play. And I'm going to speak my mind. And she's my daughter, so she does. But there's more and more people stepping up because of the example.
I met your wife. She's your wife's daughter.
She's my wife's daughter.
Correct,
Yeah,
yes,
she
yeah.
100%
Yes.
is. She's very short. Is that the example that these girls set? So many other people look at their example and go, I could do the same thing. So many teenagers look at that. And I guarantee you, in each of your schools, you may think the entire world is against all of you right now and that they're yelling at you and saying bad things about you on social media. And there are plenty out there who aren't. What, you got 500 bad comments from your school? How many kids are actually in the school? Right? There's hundreds of them. And then there's all the kids who aren't in your school. And then you've got us. We're inspired by you guys. Adults are inspired by kids. My daughter saw what happened with Charlie Kirk. And her and her friends, it was her birthday that week, and we were having dinner at my house, and she had all her friends over for Friday night dinner for Shabbos, for the Sabbath. And they, on the spot, decided to start a Turning Point USA chapter in their Jewish school on Mercer Island.
Wow.
There are people who inspire other people. And if you want to know how far this can go, I'll give you one last story before I pass the mic to Jonathan. Is that my son is now 21 years old, and his best friend growing up had a lot of health issues. My son, shock, was very, very loud growing up. And they actually prescribed for him this thing called an ellophone. Have you ever seen these things before? So you have to wear it so that you hear your voice in your ears. So us on the radio, that's what we do all day long. But they prescribed him this thing because he was really, really loud. Well, it turns out his best friend, this kid, had a lot of health issues, and one of them was he was deaf. And the only one he could hear was my son. So they became best friends. We like to joke about this. This is why they became best friends. But he had a ton of health problems. But he's now 21 years old, and he's autistic also. And he's got more facial hair than I do. Why am I mentioning any of this? He goes in for a lot of medical tests. And his family went to the event that Future 42 ran this summer. I told Brian the story at Roanoke. They went to the event that was in August. And they went to hear Abigail Schreier. And they want to tell Abigail Schreier a story that had happened recently. Was that this boy went to one of his appointments, I believe it was for autism. And like I said, he's got more facial hair than me. And they said, are you comfortable in your body? Mm. They didn't mean, are you comfortable because you have all these medical problems. They were trying to get him to say, he's a girl. He's a 21-year-old man. A 21-year-old man, and they're still trying to do it to him because he's autistic. So if they're doing that to him, what are they trying to do to others? He brought me a thing that Seattle Children's Hospital is giving out called the Gender Card. Have you seen this thing?
Oh, God.
It's insane. I posted it on social media. It's nuts. But basically it says, here's how I identify. Here's what I want you to call me. Don't tell my parents. Yes, tell my parents. There's all these boxes. Call me by this. And it's being given out by Seattle Children's Hospital. And it's being given out to pediatricians all over the place. That boy said, I'm a boy. Thank you. And they found another doctor after that. So he's somebody else who, I know he listens to my show. I know his family listens to a bunch of the rest of us up here. And they went to that conference by Future 42, and they had a great time. They got inspired by Abigail Schreier. But everybody in this room has the power to inspire more people by sharing their girl stories, by sharing our content, shameless plug. But by sharing all this kind of stuff, you can inspire more people, and you don't know who else is out there listening. You guys didn't know my daughter was out there listening, right? I mean, I may have mentioned it a time or two. But you're inspiring more and more people through your actions. And by sharing those stories, people know they're not alone. Like when they see the t-shirts, like when they hear the girls speak. And when they know they're not alone, all of a sudden the battle becomes a lot easier. And just, I will end with this, is that okay, I got banned from Olympia, and I've never applied for a press pass in Olympia before. I have never covered Olympia before. I have Brandy on my show once a week to cover Olympia. It was Jewish Lobby Day. And I said, oh, hell, let's go broadcast from Olympia for Jewish Lobby Day, and maybe we'll cover a few things. I got banned on Jewish Lobby Day. There's like 3 Jewish journalists in the state, and I got banned from Jewish Lobby Day. But I knew it would be fine, because I know I have got these guys up here who are going to get banned shortly thereafter me. I knew that was going to only a matter of time until Brandy applied for her press pass this year and Jonathan applied for his. And I knew I got people like Jackson Maynard and the Citizen Action Defense Fund and others who had my back, and I knew I had all of you. What, they stopped me from having a press pass so you're not going to see my content anymore? I don't need them. I got social media. I got a radio show for 3 hours a day. I got all of you. The more you get this word out, the more people know they're not alone, and the more you tell it to people who they've told you not to have political conversations with anymore. What the hell is that? That's all we do at synagogue over a bunch of whiskey. That's what you do. So have those conversations, share the content, and share the story of these girls, because you are sharing the word and inspiring more people.